Hello. Hello. Live chatting. Hmm. Very good morning, everyone. How are you all? Super. Now, last class we started AS 29, Accounting Standard 29, Provision, Contingent Liabilities and Contingent Assets. I've already said that the basic concept of this is contingencies, which was given in AS 4. And already we have discussed that part also. The contingencies are condition or situation existing on balance sheet date, the outcome of which is not known and which is dependent on happening or non-happening of uncertain future event. So we have understood that with the introduction of AS 29, contingencies was withdrawn from AS 4. However, it is applicable, means AS4 is applicable to the extent of only provision for doubtful debt. Apart from that, all contingencies are now covered where? In AS29. Correct. Then we move to AS29. We started discussing about provision, contingent liability and contingent asset. Till now we have done discussion only about provision. So provisions are liability which can be measured by a substantial degree of estimation. This is the meaning of provision. What is the meaning of provision? Provisions are liability which can be measured by a substantial degree of estimation. So we have understood that provisions are liability of an uncertain amount. Means that the amount is not known, so it is uncertain. So if the amount is certain, then then it is not a provision. Means we can say that all provisions are liability, but all liabilities are not provisions. Correct? Understood? Means provision will be also shown under the in the liability side of the balance sheet. Provision will be shown in balance sheet in the liability side of balance sheet. Correct? But all liabilities are not provision. So liability means what? Is for certain amount, and if the amount is uncertain, it becomes provision. So because the amount is uncertain, we need to estimate, and therefore estimation is required. Correct? So sir, what is the meaning of liability? We discussed that liabilities are present obligation arising from past event which will be settled through outflow of resource. Through outflow of resource. A resource here means what? Cash or any other asset. So we have understood that all obligations are also not liability. Only present obligations are liability. So what is the meaning of present obligation? An obligation is present obligation if it is probable. If on balance sheet date it is probable. Probable means chances are more than 50%. The chances of occurrence is more than chances of non-occurrence. Chances of occurrence is more than chances of non-occurrence. Correct? Understood? Means it is more likely than not. A keyword has been used in AS29. It is probable. Probable means what? It is more likely than not. The chances are more than not. Chances are more than not. Correct? It means more than 50%. More than 50%. Correct. Then we have came to recognition of provision. We discussed that if there are three conditions and if all the three conditions are satisfied, then we recognize provision. Recognize provision means what? We record provision journal entry. Correct? Understood? So what are the three conditions? First condition, there must be present obligation arising from past event. Then second condition, outflow of resource which is required to settle the obligation is also probable. And the last, a reliable estimation can be made for the amount of obligation. If all these three conditions satisfied, then we say blah blah kar do what? Journal entry of provision on the date when the recognition criteria is satisfied. So of course normally on balance sheet date will create provision because we do apply this condition on balance sheet date. So on balance sheet date will pass one journal entry. Journal entry क्या होगा? Journal entry means what? The expense account debit to provision. Expense account debit to provision means whatever expense you are estimating that become expense. So expense account debit to provision. And expense being a nominal account will be transferred to PL account. So we normally say PL account debit to provision. But better entry is what? First expense account debit to provision and then PL account debit to expense. Bola. Expense account debit to provision, then PL account debit to expense. Correct? So normally in CA foundation you might have done PL account debit to provision. Correct? Correct? So that PL is nothing but expense component. Understood? Yes sir. Yes sir. Then we have done one special point that only those obligations which exist independently from entity's future conduct of business should be recognized. Means any obligation which is dependent on future conduct of business should not be recognized as provision. Will not recognize it as a provision. So we have done three examples. One example I have done about training of employee. Second example I have done for aeroplane, and third example I have done for factory. Correct? Now in all that example, can I say because the obligation was dependent on future entity's future conduct of business and therefore will not recognize any amount of provision. Why? Because outflow of resource will be considered not probable. In that case outflow of resource is not probable because it can be avoided. In future expenditure can be avoided. So if expenditure is unavoidable, means we do not have any option but to settle the obligation. We can say in this way, we do not have any option but you need to settle the obligation, means it is unavoidable. Unavoidable means what? We need to recognize provision, means outflow is probable. Outflow is probable. Understood? Correct? Yes sir. This much we have done. This much we have done. Up to this any doubt? Up to this any doubt? Any doubt coming in your mind? Whatever. Now whenever I am doing this type of discussion now, so you become CA. Try to become CA. CA sir, how can you become CA? CA, yes you can become CA. Just try to understand that you are a chartered accountant of a company. Means create one imagination in your life that you are a chartered accountant of that company and you are looking after the books of account of that company. Correct now? So you are doing all the journal entries, ledger account, balance sheet, etc. So you need to become CA and think that what you would have done in that particular situation. So if you think logically, so you will understand logically. So if you think logically, you will understand logically. Understood? So up to this, any doubt? No doubt. Correct. Now just try to understand, everyone. One thing we know that all obligation involve other party. Means the amount is payable to other party. Correct. Let me give one example. Suppose what happened? There was one company. Company is what? X Limited, and they organize event. Means they are event management. They organize some event, any type of event, marriage event or what any type of functions etc. or commercial event, they organize event. ठीक है ना? So they have organized one event, correct? So that event was open for entire public, correct? With some small nominal fees also, means there was some entry fees, correct? And what happened, because this event was become so popular that it become overcrowded, and because of overcrowded some accident happened and many people died or injured. Because of that reason, the relative of that deceased person or injured person has filed a case against this company. Are you able to understand the case study? Ki those who have died, their relative filed a case against this company. Correct? Understood? Now it is probable that they need to pay some compensation to the deceased person or the injured person. Deceased person means what? The nominee of deceased person. Correct now? They will not go to deceased person now. So they will pay the compensation to the nominee of deceased person. I hope you are understanding. Correct? Now it is probable that they need to pay compensation, and outflow of resource is also probable. Means all the condition has been satisfied, amount can be also estimated. But what the management is saying that of course we need to pay compensation, agreed, but we don't know the identification of person. We don't know who has got injured. We don't know who has died. We don't have the list of the person. We don't know the name of that person. We don't know the identification. We don't know the address right now. Let the case decide. Let the list come, and then we'll pass journal entry for what? Liability. So let the case decide. Till now case is pending. Case decided, then to over na. Then to then it become actual liability. Means right now case is pending where? In High Court. So it is pending in High Court. So till now the actual decision has not came. So of course this company don't know to whom they are supposed to pay. Correct now. Amount can be estimated, but they don't know to whom they are supposed to pay. They only know the number that 10 people died and suppose 8 people injured. They know the number only. Understood? They are saying that will not create provision because we don't know the identification of that party. Is it correct or wrong? What is wrong? Emotions? Is it coming from emotions? The wrong only. So AS29 has given one clarification. The obligation involves third party, any other party, but there is no need to know the identification of that party. Even though you don't know the identification of that party, you should create what? Provision. Understood? So a clarification has been given. Understood this point? So what they said? All obligation involve other party. However, it is not essential to know the identity of other party for the recognition of provision. Means even though you don't know the name, address, identification of the other party, you should recognize what? Provision. Means you can't escape your liability for creating a provision. Understood this much? Correct. I hope you have understood. This does not require any explanation. Now whatever example I am taking, these examples are given in your question bank only. So when you read question bank, you will find a similar example I have done in class. You will be able to understand. You will be able to understand. What is what I am saying? Now, just try to understand. We have understood that on 31st March, correct now, there must be obligation. Means obligation must exist on which date? On 31st March. And that arises from which event? Past event. Correct. But can I say all past event will not give rise to obligation on reporting date? There are some past event for which obligation is already settled. Quite possible. Correct now. So all past event will not give rise to obligation on balance sheet date. Means we need to only consider those past events which give rise to obligation on which date? Balance sheet date. And that past event are known as obligating event. So we call it what? Obligating event. What we call it? It means the objective of this chapter is to first find out obligating event. So all past event will not give rise to obligation on balance sheet. There are some past event for which obligation is already expired now. Already settled. Already expired. So we are not supposed to consider such obligation which does not exist on balance sheet date. So prime objective of this chapter is to what? Find out obligation of which date? Balance sheet date. Means those past event which give rise to obligation of balance sheet date should be identified, and such past event are known as what? Obligating event. I'm just giving the terms to you. So in question they may say this is the obligating event. Obligating event means obligation exists on balance sheet date. Understood? Yes sir. This can be used in MCQ type of questions. So in MCQ they will say for provision what is important, past event or obligating event? Obligating event is the more appropriate answer. So all past event will not give rise to, bola, all past event does not give rise to, bolo, all past event does not give rise to obligation on balance sheet date. So only those which give rise to obligation on balance sheet date need to be identified, and that past event is known as what? Obligating event. Understood? Correct. So what they have written? Past event which give rise to some correction. Past event which give rise to obligation on balance sheet date are known as what? Obligating event. Understood? Correct. Have you understood? Thoda. Have patience. Okay. This is your first class, not you might not be understanding, but I am with you. You are with me. I am with you. Are you with me? Okay. Then okay, matching concept. Okay. If I am with you, you are with me, then only matching concept now. If I am with you but you are not with me, or you are with me, I am not with you, then accounting is not possible. Then there will be some accident. Okay. Correct. Okay. Nothing to worry. Okay. This much we have understood. Means provision meaning we have understood. Provision recognition we have understood. Now let us introduce contingent liability in your life. Correct. Understood. So what we have understood, ki obligation we need to find out na. Obligation on which date? Balance sheet date. Correct. Arising from past event. Correct. Understood? Correct. Are of three types. Correct. I am writing, you also write. How many times I will say? If I am writing, you also write. I am very slow now. Till now I have not done explanation. When I write, I don't explain. So don't listen now, only write. When I write, I don't explain. I am writing, you also write. Matching. Correct? Okay. So obligation on balance sheet date arising from past event are of how many types? Three types. One is known as present obligation. Oh, this to we know. Present obligation to we know na. One is known as possible obligation. Acha. Oh, possible obligation. New term in your life. Possible obligation. And third is known as remote. वो टीवी वाला रिमोट नहीं, एसी वाला. हाँ, which remote? English remote. This is one remote obligation. Remote. Write down. I will explain what is the meaning of remote obligation. Remote obligation. Understood? So there are three types of obligation. One is what? Present. One is what? Possible. One is what? Remote. Remote means what? Very insignificant chance. Means insignificant chance that loss will occur. Remote obligation means in percentage terms we say it is less than 5%. In percentage terms means obligation may happen but chances are very less. Obligation may arise but chances are very less. We call it remote obligation. Now you only say whether AS apply to material item or immaterial item. Material, whether it is material or immaterial. Insignificant, immaterial, and therefore AS says no treatment. Ignore it. Ignore it for the purpose of accounting. So whenever there is a remote obligation, no treatment required. Thank you very much, sir. No treatment, na? No treatment is thank you very much, na? No treatment. So whenever obligation on balance sheet date is remote, very less chances. We call it what? Remote obligation. Then no accounting treatment. No journal entry. Correct? No journal entry. Understood? Correct? Yes, sir. Now present obligation means what? Chances are more than 50%. Chances are more than 50%. Chances are more than 50%. This too you have understood. Now chances are more than 50% means can I say more likely than not? Can I use this term? More likely than not. Can I use this term? Means obligation is more likely than not. On which date? On balance date. On which date? On balance date. Okay. Then you only say what will do. Whether we recognize provision or will not recognize provision. Whether we recognize provision or will not recognize provision. So, will recognize or will not recognize. What you are saying? Very good. Excellent. Excellent. This answer is correct. Those who are saying recognize provision means they have not yet understood my emotions. So you will get motions in exam hall. Understood? And those who are saying no sir, wait, there are two more conditions. Yes or no? Wait, sir, wait. Yes or no? It means they have understood my emotions. So they will not get motions. Understood what I am saying? So this is C exam. I am here to confuse you. You need to apply entire concepts. Whatever we have done till now. And now I will ask only those questions whatever I have done. And if you are responding, means you are listening, or you are concentrating, or you have done revision of previous classes. If you are not responding, means till now you have not understood my emotions. So matching concept will fail. Correct now? So once again, I said present obligation arising from past events should be recognized provision. So some of you said yes. No, Baba, no. There are how many more conditions left? Second condition and third condition. So there are two more conditions now. This is only first condition. So what they are saying? Wait, check two more conditions. And बोल दे yes. Yes, sir. So can I say one condition is what? Outflow of resource is probable. Is probable. And second condition, reliable estimation can be made. Can be made now? Yes, sir. Correct, sir. Okay, sir. So can I say if these two conditions are satisfied with present obligation, if these two conditions are satisfied with present obligation, then what? Recognize provision. Then recognize provision. So now we'll say yes, sir. Recognize provision. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are understanding, sir. Are you able to understand now? Yes, sir. Then recognize provision. So outflow of resource is probable. And then recognize provision. Have you understood this point? Correct. Should I write bigger? Is it visible? Or I should write in bigger font? Huh? Is visible, na? Okay, sir? Correct. Means can I say in this way, if there is a present obligation arising from past event, but either outflow of resource is not probable or reliable estimation cannot be made, then don't recognize provision. Can I say in this way? One second. If there is a present obligation arising from past event, but either outflow of resource is not probable or reliable estimation cannot be made, then AS29 says it is a contingent liability. Then it will become what? Contingent liability. Understood? Then disclose the fact. If you are not recording, then disclose it na. In the where? Wherever required. Wherever required. Understood? Yes, sir. So can you see either this is not satisfied or this is not satisfied or both are not satisfied. Understood? Or and or obligant, either any one condition is not satisfied or both the conditions are not satisfied, then what AS29 says, then this will become contingent liability. Then it will become contingent liability. Acha sir, acha. Have you understood? Have you understood this point? Correct. Write in the way I am writing, huh? If you write in some other way, so when the revision some doubt may come. Have you understood this point? Means can I say in this way, if there is a present obligation arising from past event which was not recognized because either outflow of resource is not probable or reliable estimation cannot be made, so that obligation will become what? Contingent liability. Correct? Yes sir. Correct. This much, any doubt? I think no doubt you are understanding. Now what is possible obligation? Possible obligation will be between these two, between present and remote. Correct now? Means can I say if the chances are less than 50% but more than what? 5%, then it is possible obligation. It's less than 50% but more than 5%, it become what? Possible obligation. Understood? Correct. Possible obligation. Or can I say it is nothing but, we can say not probable, means when obligation is not probable, or we can say it is nothing but not more likely than not. MLTN means what? MLTN means more likely than not. It is not more likely than not. It is not more likely than not. Understood now? It is not more likely than not. Means chances are less than 50%. Chances are less than 50%. If I say you are outstanding, if I say you are an outstanding student, correct? Or if I say you are a significant student, correct? Or I will say you are not insignificant. So both are same now. If I will say you are significant, or you will say I will say you are not insignificant. So both will have same answer now. Correct? So English is a very funny language. Negative will become positive. Correct? You are not insignificant. So it become you are significant. Similarly, if I say not more likely than not, this is negative term. Negative term na. If I am saying you are more likely than not, so okay. You are not more likely than, so just reverse of that. It become reverse of that na. So not more likely than not means the chances are less than 50%. Correct. In this case, what AS29 says, whenever there is a possible obligation, then always it will be what? Contingent liability. Always it will be a contingent liability. Understood? Always it will be a contingent liability. In any case. Have you understood this point? So can I conclude, can I derive one definition from this? Let us derive definition of contingent liability. Let us derive definition. Correct? So can I say in this way, contingent liabilities are present obligation arising from past event. Listen everyone, don't write. This much you have written? This much you have written? Now whatever I am saying, don't write. Whatever write, only that much write. Understood? So whatever I am saying, that you don't write. Huh? That is already written. Okay. Once again. Contingent liabilities are present obligation arising from past event which cannot be recognized as provision because either outflow of resource which is required to settle the obligation is not probable or reliable estimation cannot be made, or it is a possible obligation arising from past event, or it is a possible obligation arising from past event. Am I right or not? Or it is a possible obligation arising from past event. All possible obligation will be always what? Contingent liability. But present obligation may be provision, may be contingent liability depending upon that two conditions. So if there is a present obligation arising from past event and that two conditions satisfied, then it becomes provision. And if there is a present obligation arising from past event and either of these two conditions are not satisfied, then it becomes what? Contingent liability. I hope you are understanding. Correct? Understood? So can I say this meaning only given in AS 29? Let us read the meaning, what they are saying. Contingent liability are present obligation arising from past event which cannot be recognized because either outflow of resource to settle the obligation is not probable or a reliable estimation cannot be made, or second point, they are possible obligation arising from past event. They are possible obligation arising from past event. Have you understood? Correct. Definition you understood? Definition. Correct. So I think you have understood what is possible obligation. Okay, possible, an obligation is a possible obligation if based on all the evidence available on balance sheet date, based on all the evidence available on which date? On balance sheet date. Its existence on balance sheet date is considered not probable. Not probable. So present was probable, possible become not probable. Present was more likely than not, so this become not more likely than not. That is not high, or we can say is not more likely than not, means simple word less than 50%. Less than 50%. But it is not a remote obligation. Understood? Have you understood this point? Correct? Have you understood? This much any doubt? Correct. Now, this contingent liability will be not recognized. It will not be recognized. Means we will not pass any journal entry for this. So we don't record contingent liability. We only record what? Provision. So isliye we say we don't recognize it. It will not be recognized. But it will be only disclosed what? It will be disclosed. It require disclosure. It requires disclosure. Where? In financial statement. In financial statement. In financial statement means what? So when I say financial statement, what do you mean by financial statement? So when I say financial statement, it consists of 4 statements. It consists of 4 statements. One is what? Balance sheet. One is what? SOPL. SOPL means what? Statement of profit and loss. Statement of profit and loss. And third is known as what? Statement of cash flow. Statement of cash flow. Cash flow statement. And the last one is known as what? Notes to account. Notes to account. I hope you are understanding. So when we say disclosure in financial statement, so where you will disclose? Whether you will disclose in balance sheet or SOPL or statement of cash flow or in notes. So all disclosure are given at one place, and that place is what? Notes to account. Understood? So when I say disclose in financial statement, it means disclose where? in notes to account. Understood? Yes, sir. Have you understood this point? Simple. So what is the journal entry for contingent liability? No journal entry. Correct. So no journal entry. We don't recognize means no journal entry. So when I am saying not recognize means no journal entry, Baba. No journal entry. JE means what? Journal entry. Okay. Yes, sir. It means what they are saying, recognition, not recognize, but require disclosure in financial statement. But require disclosure in financial statement means what? In notes to account. Unless outflow of resource is remote. Oh. So what they are saying, unless outflow of resource is remote. But if outflow is remote, then ignore. Here whenever remote, so as per maturity concept, no accounting treatment. If outflow become remote, outflow is not probable, outflow become remote, then it will not be disclosed as contingent liability. So this is one condition, कि unless outflow resource is remote. Correct. I hope you have understood. थोड़ा सा better understanding I will take, but you have understood whatever I want to say. You have understood the difference between now provision and contingent liability. Correct. And I hope you are understanding what you have done in CA foundation and what you are doing in CA inter. That level, the gap is used. The accounts whatever you have done in CA foundation and accounts whatever you are doing in CA inter, this gap is very high. So if you can fill that gap soon, it will be very interesting. It will become interesting. Correct? Yes, sir. Now, let us understand the entire summary. ठीक है ना? This remark please don't see, hide it. Remark को hide कर दो. ठीक है? Hide it. You have the page. Hide it. And don't see whiteboard. See what? Me. I am looking good. So see me. ठीक है ना? I will ask you some question. You need to say provision or contingent liability or no treatment. Or no treatment. ठीक है ना? Hide. ठीक है? Don't see. First, obligation is present. Present obligation. Outflow of resources is probable. An estimation can be made. But a provision, contingent liability, no treatment. Provision, first easy. Provision, all three conditions satisfied. Correct? Yes, sir. Chalo, better I will write. You say. क्या होता है ना? When I write, then you, whatever answer is given, that become more important. So first you have understood. First case was, there are 3 points I will ask. Obligation, then outflow, then estimation. Okay? So I am saying there was a present obligation. You don't write because it is already written. This is not my good handwriting. Don't write. Writing in this way, na? So already written. Present, and outflow of resources is probable, and estimation can be made. You already said provision. Second, present, not probable, estimation can be made. Batao. Contingent liability, very good, excellent. Everyone saying contingent liability? Excellent, excellent. ये 3 बोल दिया तो मजा आ जाएगा. If you say 3 correctly, means you have understood my emotions also. ठीक है ना? Even though you are not giving correctness, don't worry. This is for the first time anyone is asking this type of question to you. So it is a present, not probable, and amount cannot be estimated. Huh? I am not now listening all the boys. Everyone need to respond, right? The provision, contingent liability. How many are saying provision? How many are saying contingent liability? How many are saying no treatment? Either out of these 3, one answer is required. Don't sit silent. Say wrong, okay. Say right, okay. But if you are not answering, means entire class is wasted, na? Correct, बताओ. How many are saying no treatment? चलो ठीक है. 100% correct. Contingent liability. So I said if you are answering this, means it means you have understood my emotions. It means you have understood my emotions. Correct now. So once you have understood the concept, are you able to answer the questions? Yes, na. Initially it was very, when I started this provision etc., you were feeling very heavy that time. Dhire 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 it will become easy. Dhire dhire, but slowly slowly na. It is a matter of time that entire accounting standard will become expert. Then you can challenge any chartered accountant also. But you need to give some time to him. Okay? Don't decide at the beginning कि अरे इतना tough है. No, no. This is wrong way of learning. Okay? Now, third case, fourth case. ठीक है ना? बताना. Present, remote, and this तो it can be any of these. बताओ. Excellent, excellent, excellent. No treatment. Now those who are not answering, I will not ask them. You need to respond, huh? Either say wrong or say correct. But if you are not answering, means you are not my student. I will not give any importance to you. So I am only listening some few voice. Many of you are not answering because you have fear of getting wrong answer. Because you have fear of me. I am not at all angry if you are giving me wrong answer. I am angry when you are not giving answer. If you not give answer, I will say you are not my student. I will say bye bye. Okay? Got it what I am saying? So respond either correct or wrong. Then only I can understand whether you have understood or not. You are sitting idle. मजा आ रहा है सर. बोलते रहो सर. We are to like this only. हाँ sir. Okay, okay. Understood sir. What is this? Please answer. Huh? Okay. Point number 5. Point number 5. Now it become possible obligation, probable, and either amount can be estimated or not estimated. Batao what? Contingent liability. I think now everyone has said contingent liability. Very good. Point number 6. Possible obligation. This means possible, huh? Not probable. Not probable. An amount can be estimated or not estimated. Batao. Contingent liability. Excellent. Then possible obligation, but now it become remote. Batao. What? No treatment. Excellent. Excellent. The next point, it is remote obligation, no treatment. You have understood. This is the entire summary. This is the entire summary now. Means whatever case study they will give, whatever question they will give, if you think in this way, all question you can solve. First condition, possible obligation, present obligation, decide. Then outflow is probable, not probable, remote. And the last is what? Estimation can be made or cannot be made. One thing is clear that now you have understood one point which I was actually not expecting that you will understand by your own. If a possible obligation, even though estimation can be made, or what? Estimation cannot be made. In both cases, it will what? Contingent liability. Actually, I was not expecting that this you are understanding by your own. But you have understood the emotions of this diagram. And that is required in CA. If you are understanding by your own. That is actually the best quality of a chartered accountant. Understood what I am saying? Have you understood this point? Yes, sir. So if you have understood all cases by your own, means understood na. Now read the summary. Read the summary by your own. Understood? I think the same treatment is given. Same treatment. So you have understood what contingent liability also. The difference between provision, contingent liability, you understood. Now we can move to contingent asset. Contingent asset. Okay, contingent asset. Let us come to contingent asset. So contingent asset is very easy. not much discussion required because we don't recognize contingent asset. If we don't recognize contingent asset, much discussion not required. For provision, a high level of discussion was required because it was recognized. Correct. Now, when to recognize that we need to understand. So, contingent asset means what? These are possible asset. Possible asset arising from past event. So, these are possible asset arising from past event. If you know this much, this is only contingent asset. So, possible asset arising from past event. Possible asset. Asset means inflow. Means if I am saying obligation, obligation means outflow. So, asset means what? Inflow. So, we can say we are discussing here about inflow. When I am saying asset, the asset means what? Inflow. Inflow, yes or no? Yes or no? So it is a possible asset arising from past event, the existence of which will be confirmed. The existence of which will be confirmed by occurrence or non-occurrence of uncertain future event which are not within the control of entity. Correct? So existence of which will be confirmed by the occurrence or non-occurrence of one or more uncertain future event, uncertain future event, correct, which are not wholly within the control of entity. Means this so you have understood, this is nothing but from the definition of contingencies. This came from a definition of contingency. Means key term was it is a possible asset arising from past event. The key term was possible asset arising from past event. Means if you read the definition of what liability also now, contingent liability, they have given possible obligation arising from past event, the existence of which will be confirmed by occurrence or non-occurrence of uncertain future event which is not within the control of entity. But I am focusing on this. If you have understood this, so you have understood contingent liability. Means from examination point of view, you need to find out whether it is a present obligation or possible obligation. Correct? Here also, if you have understood it is a possible asset, that will be what? A contingent asset. However, there is no term present asset. Means in liability they have said present obligation and possible obligation. Here they said only possible asset. Means there are two terms, asset or possible asset. Asset or possible asset. So all possible asset are what? All possible asset are what? Contingent asset. Means one thing is clear that the recognition will be based on inflow. Whether inflow is probable or not probable. So recognition is based on inflow. Recognition is based on inflow. Correct. However, can I say contingent asset we don't recognize? Contingent asset we don't recognize. But what AS29 says that if inflow are virtually certain, if inflow are virtually certain, once again a new term in your life, virtually certain. If I am saying you will virtually pass, it is virtually certain that you will pass. What does it mean? It means, can I say you will pass only, na? If I am saying it is virtually certain that you will pass, means you will pass only. But if I say it is probable that you will pass, it means chances are only high but not certain. But if I am saying virtually certain, means near to certain. I say if you are studying from Chiranjeev Jain, you will virtually pass, virtually certain that you will pass. It means it is 100%, means near to 100% that you will pass. So what they say, if it is virtually certain, means chances are more than 95%, but not certain. Certain means what? 100%. So if I am saying it is virtually certain, inflow are virtually certain, it means chances are more than 95%. Chances are more than 95%. Then AS29 say it is not a contingent asset, it is an asset. It is not a contingent, it is an asset. And recognize that asset. When I am saying asset, then you need to recognize it, na? Correct? So what they are saying, then it shall be recognized as an asset and it is not treated as contingent asset. It is not treated as contingent asset. Sir, क्या बोलते sir? समझ में नहीं आता sir. Sometimes you are saying probable, sometimes you are saying not probable, sometimes you are saying virtually certain. What do you think about us, sir? What do you think? Whatever you say, we'll understand. Let's say, means you are not convinced with this. Sir, it is not certain, na? It is not 100% certain. Then why you are recognizing it? One doubt may come. Let us take one example. From bachpan say you are recognizing such type of asset. For example, you have done credit sales. You have done credit sales. What journal entry you debtor account debit to sales? Journal entry know about credit sales. Cash sales, what is journal entry? Cash account debit to sales. What is journal entry for credit sales? Debtor account debit to sales. Journal entry means you are recognizing that debtor is what? Asset or liability? Asset. Now my question to you are, everyone just try to understand. One thing we know that as a businessman will give credit only to known customers. Whether you will give credit to unknown party means if you know about that person financial capability, then only you will give credit now. Otherwise, will never give credit. Will you give credit to any party? I am asking, give me 100 rupees. Because you know me and you know me that he is Chiranjeev Jain, so he may not default, and because of that reason you may give me 100 rupees right now. Bolna yes or no? But he is saying, sir, I don't know whether he will give or not. So he will not give. Depends upon person to person. Now I am not known to everyone. I am not known to everyone now. So he is saying, sir, I will not give. So he is not okay with my financial capability. Am I right or not? Correct. But if you are okay with my financial capability, you may give me credit or not. So if you have done credit sales, you will pass my journal entry debtor account debit sales. So I will ask one question, whether the amount whatever is recoverable, whether it is certain that it will be received. Certainly, what I am asking, just try to understand. It is certain that amount will be received. It is certain. How it is certain? 100% certain is not there. Even though she has given me 100 rupees, but I may default now. I may default. I may go to Pakistan. Are bola re? Are bola re? And if I go to Pakistan, you know, Gadar movie, it was so difficult to come from there. So he was to Sunny Deol. I am not Sunny Deol, na. Am I right or not? Are bola re? Just try to understand what I am saying. So when you have done credit sales, I will ask one question, whether the amount is certain to be recoverable. No. But if I will say whether the amount is uncertain to be recovered, then also no. Means it is virtually certain. It's not 100% certain. But at this point of time, it is 95% or more than 95% that it is certain. And therefore, you have done the journal entry debtor account debit to sales now. Because inflow was virtually certain. So from Bachpan se you are doing that journal entry. From Bachpan se you are recognizing which journal entry, debtor account debit to sales or not. And if you will say no sir, virtually certain, will not recognize. Why you are recognizing it is not certain, then I will say Bachpan mein jao and cross all the journal entry of what? Debtor account debit to sales. It means whatever I am teaching, that is correct. And can you say whatever you have done in Bachpan, that was based on accounting standard only. But nobody has given you the reference of what? Accounting standard. Means whatever journal entry you have done in your Bachpan, that was based on some accounting standard. Am I right or not? Correct. So what I am saying, the best example for this is debtor account debit to sales. So can you say in case of credit sales, inflow is virtually certain, and therefore it is not a contingent asset, it is an asset, and therefore recognize that asset. That only we have done. Huh? The conservatism says what? Recognize all expected expenses arising from past event, but do not recognize all expected income. This was only principle, but principle we need to apply now. So AS has given the application of that principle. Now AS has came and AS has given the application of that principle. So AS is saying if it is virtually certain, so it is actually near to a actual only. Means you will receive. If you receive, then recognize it now. Why you are not recognizing? Why you are not recognizing? Understood? It is virtually certain. Virtually certain means near to certain. Therefore, it is not a contingent asset. It is an asset. So we are applying conservatism principle for accounting treatment now. So accounting standard has given the application of that principle. Application of that principle. Understood? Correct. Now they are saying if the inflow is probable. Now it become what? contingent asset. So now it become contingent asset. So inflow are probable, so no asset is recognized. Now it become contingent asset. Contingent asset, and contingent asset will not be recorded. It will be only disclosed. It will be only disclosed. Okay, disclosure should be given where? Notes to account, but AS29 says no, it will not be disclosed in notes to account also. However, from my point of view, it is not correct. When you will go to CA final will change it. But as per AS29, it will disclose in the report of approving authority. So what they are saying, disclosures are required, but not in financial statement. It is required in the report of approving authority. So what is the meaning of report of approving authority? What is the meaning of report of approving authority? That I need to explain. Correct now. Just try to understand. Report of approving authority means what? Who is approving that financial statement? And in case of company, the management approve it. Who is the management? Board of directors. Directors are what? Approving authority. So directors will give one report. Directors will give one report. Understood? In that report, they can disclose the contingent asset. In that report, they can disclose the contingent asset, but it is not to be disclosed in the financial statement. Means, can I say, financial statement consists of what? Financial statement consists of what? Bolo na, financial statement consists of balance sheet, SOPL, statement of cash flow, notes to account, and nothing. And nothing. Means directors' report are not a part of financial statement. Directors' reports are not a part of financial statement. Understood? Correct? So directors' reports are not a financial statement. In directors' report, we can disclose anything because AS is applicable to financial statement now. AS is applicable to financial statement, not to directors' report. So what AS29 want to say that don't disclose contingent asset in financial statement. If you want to disclose in director's report, your report. And users will not rely on director's report. Users will rely only in what? Financial statement. So if you are disclosing any contingent asset, expected income, you want to disclose. Whatever you want to disclose. That is your report. Disclose that. But in financial statement, you can't disclose what? Contingent asset. So my question to you all, but the provision you recognize or you disclose? Recognize. And contingent liability you will disclose or recognize? Where? In notes to account. In notes to account means financial statement. Contingent asset you recognize or disclose? Where? In financial statement or in the report of approving authority? In the report of approving authority. So what they are saying will disclose, but disclosure required in the report of approving authority. Report of approving authority. Examples means director's report. Director's report. Have you understood this point? Yes, sir. These all are important from MCQ's question point of view. They will say contingent assets are recognized, disclosed in notes to account, disclosed in report of approving authority. All of the above. Which one is correct? C is correct. So it means word to word you should know. Otherwise 1 mark will be gone. Correct. Yes, sir. Then if the inflows are not probable, no treatment. No treatment. Understood? No treatment. Means can I say in this way, if for asset, for inflow, AS is more strict, and for liability means outflow, AS are not so much strict. Due to which principle? Conservatism principle. Due to conservatism only, na? Correct. If you compare these two, outflow and inflow, correct. If 100% certain, it is a liability, it is an asset. I think no doubt. Then to recognize liability and recognize asset. So we are not discussing that. In this chapter, we are not discussing that. It is understood point. But if it is virtually certain, VC means what? Means more than 95%. more than 95%, then outflow what will do? For outflow what will do? For outflow what we will do? Provision, and provision is a, so we can say liability provision. The name of that liability is what? But that is a liability only na. And in case of inflow, asset. So here also same. Their liability, here asset, same na. Now difference will arise. Now if I am saying more than 50%, then it is probable. So probable, for outflow what will do? If outflow is probable, then what will do? Probable means I am assuming that all other conditions satisfied. Means there is a present obligation arising from past event and estimation can be made. That two conditions satisfied. So if outflow is probable, then what? Provision na. But here contingent asset. We are more strict for what? Inflow. Yes or no? And if I am saying less than 50% means not probable. Not probable means what? Here what? Contingent liability. But here no treatment. And last remote. Remote में तो no treatment. Remote means less than 5% means remote na. Remote. Understood this point? This is only for your understanding, to inform you that for inflow, accounting standards are more strict for recognition and disclosure. For recognition and disclosure. Understood? Due to which principle? Conservatism. I hope you have understood. With this, we have understood the meaning of what? Provision, contingent liability and contingent asset. And we have also understood recognition and disclosure criteria. When to recognize, when to disclose. That also we have understood. Any doubt? So once we have understood these, then what is required? Measurement. How to do measurement of provision? Because can I say we can pass journal entry only when the amount is measured. The amount is not known. So how to estimate that amount? How to estimate that amount? That we need to understand. Right. Understood? So what AS 29 says, that whatever you are estimating, that should be best estimate. It should be best estimate. Correct? Means whenever you are learning, you are doing self-study, what I will say, do best study. They are saying make best estimate. Understood? So what they are saying, best provision is the best estimate of what? Of future expenditure. Expenditure will be past, present or future. Expenditure will happen in future date, na? So best expenditure of expenditure, and this is future expenditure. Correct. Which is required to settle the present obligation as on the balance sheet date. Have you understood? Correct. Means we need to estimate future expenditure. We need to estimate future expenditure which is required to settle the obligation which is existing on which date? Balance sheet date. Have you understood this point? Correct. Only I need to explain how to make what? Best estimate. But you have understood that we need to estimate future expenditure which is required to settle the obligation existing on balance sheet date. Means future expenditure but obligation arising from past event. So when I am saying estimate future expenditure, it does not mean future event. Obligation whatever existing on balance sheet that arises from what? Past event. Got it? Yes sir. So ये बता how to make best estimate. So what AS 29 says, who knows the business? A chartered accountant or owner? Owner. Well, ask owner. He knows the business na. अरे बोलना रे. Correct. Owner means management. Owner means management. Correct. Well, estimation are determined by management judgment. They will apply their own judgment to estimate. And we to rely on that. Correct na? Are you getting what I am saying? Have you understood? For example, just try to understand. Everyone. Right now you are studying. You are studying. I don't know how you are studying now. So I need to estimate your marks in account. So I will ask you only now. How much you are expecting? or I will say no, you will score 10 marks out of 100. Whether my estimation is correct, you need to judge by your own. But sir, okay sir, we have understood. It should be based on management judgment, but then so they can say anything. They will say wrong estimation. बोलना है ऐसा ना हो. Means I say right now you are studying, how much marks you will score in account? You are saying 99. You can say any marks na. So can you see it should be supported by some evidence also? You need to give me evidence how much marks you scored in a past test paper. So you say, sir, देखो, in the past test paper I have scored 99 in your exam only, conducted by you only. So I will score 99. What is wrong in that? So it should be supported by some evidence or not. So what AS29 is saying, the estimation is based on management estimation, but it should be supported by some evidence. It should be supported by some evidence. मजा आ रहा है? कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गए सर? ये कहाँ गए हम? है ना? We were in thinking that we were in accounts class. This is a theoretical class. Correct ना? Okay, चलो ठीक है. So can I say it need to be supported by experience of past transaction, experience of past exam. कि how much you have scored in past test paper, how much you have scored in CA foundation. Correct now. When I was in school, so I have changed my school from class 10 to class 11. I have changed my school from one school to another school. So in class 10 I was a good student. Correct now. So high expectation na, mine will be high expectation. So I scored good marks in class 10 board exam. लगता नहीं है, but I was a good student. Okay. So I went to a new school. In new school, what happened now? Teacher will try to what? Degrade you because you are coming from new school. Correct now. So an English teacher was my class teacher. Lady teacher are dangerous. Correct. So English teacher came and asked me, how much you are expecting English? I know, okay. Because that time, which from the school wherever I have studied class 10, there was an English medium school, but the English lecture was also given in Hindi. Correct now. So that time my English was not so much strong. Are you able to understand? So she asked me, she said like this, how much you are expecting English? Then I realized I need to say in English or Hindi. Correct now, because I can't communicate in English that time. Then I said, "Tuta futa English." Sir, ma'am, 90. She stared me like this. 90. How come? In class 10th I have scored 90. In this also I scored 90 only, na? Well, I will see you. Now see me. She said me that I will see you. Well, see me. I am here only. Correct na. So this what? I have said 90 marks based on my past performance only na. Based on my past performance only na. Because I scored 90 in what? Class 10 English examination. So I was expecting 90 or more than 90 in class 12 English examination. Simple na. So therefore they said experience of past transaction. So management judgment will be based on experience of past transaction. What happened in past that you take as a base to find out the expenditure of future. Simple. Simple na. Or if there is no past transaction, then go to expert and ask their report. Means expert will determine then. For example, a high court case is going on. And for the first time high court case is going on with you. Only for the first time only. Correct. So you will ask lawyer only na. See how much I need to pay. So he is the expert. So we will take the report of an expert. So it means our judgment should be based on report of an expert or any additional evidence provided by the event occurring after balance sheet date. This point number 3 I will explain in the next chapter AS4. So right now don't concentrate on point number 3. It will be automatically covered by me in the next chapter. Next chapter is AS4 only. But have you understood this point number A and point number B? Correct. So can you say this judgment, management judgment will be based on, is supported by past transaction or report of an expert. Can you say okay only na? Okay, 100% correct. This much you understood. But sir, how to measure? How to measure? Okay, sir, it is based on past transaction we understood. Okay, sir, we have understood it based on report of an expert. But how to measure future expenditure that will happen in future now? So what they want to say? Key, it will be based on some weighted average calculation. I'll just give an example. Try to understand this example. Correct? Try to understand. Everyone. Suppose in the current year you have done some sales. Sales. Very beautiful example I am giving. You know beautiful? So beautiful example I am giving. Now normally you know sales, so there will be some warranty also with that sales. Suppose I have purchased this mobile, so there is a warranty period of what? 1 year. Warranty period. You know a warranty period? Warranty. So whatever goods you have sold, it is with warranty. Means anything happen in this mobile within 1 year, they will repair that. The manufacturer will repair that. Yes or no? However, there are some terms and conditions also. It should not be damaged in this screen. Screen damage they will not repair. But it's about battery damage or some parts damage. So they will repair within, and that damage should happen within 1 year. Are you getting? So warranty they have given for, let us assume, 1 year. Let us assume. Correct? Have you understood what I am saying? Now we have done sales with warranty. So there is a probable that customer will come for replacement or repair within 1 year. Customer may come with the defect goods now, and we need to repair it. And if we will do repair, then some expenditure will happen in future. Bolo yes or no? So there is a present obligation arising from past event. Once you have done sales, there is an obligation to repair or not. And outflow is probable only. Normally customer comes for this electronic item, so we go now normally within 1 year we go. Right now what happened, this pen, I purchased this iPad abhi recently only, 2 months before. Within 15 days this pen was damaged. I went there, replaced. मजा आ गया, मजा आता है ना? Correct na? Understood? Then he also said that if it is broken last day of that year na, you'll come, I will replace. Maja, last day I'll break it. Yes or no? So what I am saying, just try to understand what I am saying. See, can I say once sale has been done, there is an obligation to repair or not? So there is a present obligation arising from past event, outflow which is probable, and reliable estimation can be made. That only we are doing. Estimation only we are doing now. Understood? So now how to estimate, that is the question. So what we'll do? Based on past experience. Based on past experience. So we'll ask management, based on past experience, how much customer will come with defect. So as per past, suppose 1000 units were sold during the year. Let us assume. In this year, how many units were sold? 1000. Now as per the past experience, management is saying that 60% customer will not come, means no defect. Will not come only within 1 year. So no defect. Are you able to understand? Correct. So 60% will be good customer only. They don't come only. Understood now? We will to pakka go. We are chartered accountant na. Correct. And 30% will come with minor defect. Minor defect. This is as per past experience. Can I say they have that past experience? So they can say. So 30% will come with minor defect. But 10% will come na major defect. This is a nalayak like us. Like us na. Bolna yes or no? So major defect, major defect. Understood. Now can you say we know if there is a minor defect, how much expenditure will be incurred to repair that goods? That is our experience because we are doing that business. So we know. So they, as per their experience, they are saying that here the outflow will be 1000, here the outflow will be 3000. Understood? And here the outflow will be 0. So what AS29 says that the amount of provision will be calculated as weighted average of all possible outcome. Weighted average of all possible outcome. You know how to do average, weighted average in bachpan mein mathematics mein you have done weighted average. In inventory mein we have done weighted average. Bolna yes or no? So what we'll do, we'll calculate the amount of provision as 60% of how many goods? 1000 into nil na. Amount is nil. Means 60% of 1000 is the number of units sold, but no defect to nil. Then what? 30% of what? 1000, but amount is what? 1000, and 10% of what? 1000 into amount is what? 3000. This is nil. This become how much? 300 into 1000. How much? 3 lakh na? 3 lakh, and this become 100 into 3000. 3 lakh. So what is the best estimate? 6 lakh, and this become the amount of provision. Understood? This is weighted average of all possible outcomes. Can you see if this information is given, you can calculate it because you have calculator with you. So you can calculate or not. So easy or hard? Complicated or easy? Once you have understood, you have calculator, you can calculate or not. Similar question they are asking at CA final also. I am teaching a CA inter also. So CA final and CA inter are same. Am I right or not? In CA final they are asking this question for 6 marks. CA inter they are asking for 4 marks. Which one is easy? CA final. I am preparing you for CA final also. That you realize once you come to CA final. Because I know the student who is coming at CA final, they don't have any knowledge. And because of that, the reason they struggle in what CA final. Understood? Correct. I hope that is being done. Any discussion required? This all information will be given in the question. After this information given easy only now because we are not management. Question will become management now. So they will provide all information. Only we to calculate it. Simple or complicated? Simple. Yes sir. So what they have given? Determine the expected value of obligation. What is the key term? Expected value of obligation. That is nothing but weighted average of all possible outcomes. That is nothing but weighted average of all possible outcomes. Correct. Understood? Correct. One question was asked at CA inter. Let me take that question. This question. At the end of financial year ending on 31st December 2007. So 31st December 2007. A company find that there are 20 lawsuits, so 20 case was pending. 20 case. This Mahanalayak company. Kitna fraud kiya tha. 20 lawsuit was pending. Are you able to understand the English? Yes, sir. Outstanding which have not been settled till date of approval of account by the board of directors, means which is not yet settled. Not yet settled, then only AS29 is applicable. Now if settled, then to AS29 is not applicable only because then to be no actual amount. Am I right or not? Correct? Huh? Smile now. The possible outcome as estimated by the board of possible outcome. Possible outcome means they have given some outcome. This possible outcome does not mean possible obligation. Huh? Possible outcome is range of outcome they have given. As I have given minor defect, major defect, they have also given. In respect of 5 cases, in respect of first 5 cases, how many cases are there? So out of 25 cases, win chances 100%. You only say win chances 100%. No, 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 no. Acha, one more point. Doubt came. Good job. Before I go to this question, let me clear his doubt. Oh, ho, ho. Everyone. 1 minute, huh? Come to last class. Doubt came. So I need to first handle the doubt. Last class. Yeah. The last class. Hold on. This is the last class. Huh. This is the last class. So when I say outcome, favorable or unfavorable, you remember this thing? So this will be either favorable or unfavorable. It cannot be both. Either it will be favorable or unfavorable. It cannot be both. For example, a legal case has been filed against you. So if you lose, you need to pay compensation. But if you win, you will not receive compensation. Huh? Understood? And if you find that yes, he has filed a case against you and you want compensation for that, you need to file a case against him. Are you getting what I am saying? So if you filed a case against me, now if I lose, I need to pay compensation. But if I win, I will not receive compensation. So if you want compensation, you need to file case against that party. Understood? So you said asset. No, no, no. I mean right now some case is filed against me. So it is always the amount is payable. The amount is not receivable. If the amount is not receivable, the question of asset will not arise. So either there will be outflow or inflow. It cannot be both. Either there will be outflow or inflow. It cannot be both. Understood? Correct? Your doubt over? Your doubt over? Yes, sir. So each doubt is important. If I will not explain in exam, will do mistake. Correct? So each doubt is important. So right now the case has been filed against company. So we are discussing only about outflow. We are not discussing about inflow. Correct? Now win percentage is 100%. So batao 100%. So chances are more than 50% or less than 50% of loss. Means can I say it is what? Remote obligation. Remote obligation. So this becomes remote obligation. Probability is 100% winning. It cannot be certain. They are saying ki 100% will, means they are that much confident. Means chances of what? Chances of loss is very remote. So this becomes remote obligation. Next 10 cases, win 60%, loss 30%, loss 10%. But it is what? Present obligation or possible obligation? Because loss is what? 40%. So it means it is more than what? 50, more than what? 5%, but less than 50%. So this become possible obligation. This become possible obligation. Correct? Now doubt will come. Remaining 5 cases, they are saying win 50% and these two 30-20%. So this become exact 50. Now what I have said, possible obligation, sorry, present obligation means more than 50%. I have never said equal to 50%. I have never said equal to 50%. Correct? But you will consider this as possible or present? Possible only. It is a possible obligation. Means can I say for these two you will create what? You will disclose what? Contingent liability. And for this no treatment. No treatment. Have you understood this point? Have you understood this point? Remote obligation no treatment. Possible obligation always contingent liability. So it means you need to find out the amount of contingent liability also. If it can be measured, you need to measure it. Bolna re. Correct? Understanding what I am saying. Are you able to understand? Correct? First, we need to find out it is present obligation or possible obligation. If chances of occurrence of such loss is more than 50%, then it is present obligation. Otherwise, it is what? Possible obligation. But the chance is remote, then it becomes remote obligation, no treatment. I think we have applied that only. Now we need to find out the amount. So they said, next 10 cases, win 60%, no amount. But if you are losing, low damages how much? 1,20,000. High damages how much? 2 lakh. In the next 5 cases, remaining 5 cases, they also given the amount. How to calculate the amount of contingent liability? Let's see. So can you say, we are doing question number? You will help me, huh? Question number 1. Amount of, we are disclosing, we know we want to calculate amount of what? Contingent liability. First, how many cases? First 5 cases. Correct now? Nil amount. Then what? Next. Ten cases. Batao. What you will do? So they have said what? How much percentage? 60% nil amount. 60% into nil na. Then plus what? 30% into 1,20,000. Then what? 10%, 2 lakh. 2 lakh. This is for one case, but you want for how many cases? So you will do multiplied by 10. Bole yes or no? Now what amount is coming? You have calculator, calculate it. This is weighted average of all possible outcomes. How much the amount is coming? 5 lakh into 10 you have done na? 5,60,000. Then you will do remaining 5 cases. Remaining 5 cases. How much percent is 50% nil? Then what? 30%? 1 lakh. Then 20%? 2 lakh? 10,000. Into how many cases? 5. You have calculator, you can calculate. 3 lakh. So total amount 9 lakh. This will be the amount of which will be recognized or disclosed. This will be disclosed where? In notes to account. Very simple now. Yes or no? Have you understood? Thoda. Calculation you have understood. I have understood your doubt. I am coming to that doubt. But calculation very easy. I think no doubt in calculation. I have understood what is your doubt. That I will explain. With your face I can understand what doubt is going on. Give me some time. I am expert in teaching and understanding your emotions. But in calculation, no doubt. Same question I will give, you can calculate. Bolna yes or no? Write on MRQ. In question number 1, write on MRQ. MRQ means what? Must revise question before exam. Now let's see the answer first. Answer. At this point I have not read because I was knowing this point. Outcome of each case is to be taken separate as a separate entity, means all outcomes are different. Means this is for 10 different cases they want to say. Therefore we have to multiply by 10. Okay. As an amount of contingent loss and the accounting treatment in respect of that. Therefore, now contingent loss does not mean contingent liability. So contingency may be provision, may be contingent liability. So don't misunderstood, contingent loss become contingent liability. So I have first defined contingency. So that is contingent loss. Can be provision, can be contingent liability. Yes or no? So don't misunderstood that it will be always contingent liability. It can be what also provision. Okay? Now, in this case, probability of winning of the first 5 cases is 100%, and the question of providing for contingent loss does not arise. The probability of winning the next case is 60%, and for remaining case is 50%. As per AS29, we make a provision if the loss is probable. As the loss does not appear to be probable and the possibility of outflow of resource is not remote, rather the reasonable possibility of loss, therefore disclosure by way of note should be made. For this purpose, disclosure of contingent liability by way of note amount may be calculated as under. They have also calculated the same amount and their answer is also 9,20,000. Calculation can be done in different way. We have done in this one statement way. They have done what? Different way. First they have calculated for one case, then they have multiplied with what? 5 and 10. The same amount is coming. I hope you have understood the solution. But I understood your doubt also. Let me explain again. So, 31st March, there was one High Court case pending. You need to say me whether possible obligation or present obligation or remote obligation. Okay, na? I am just giving different case. Win 70% and lose what? 30%. Here it is a present obligation or possible obligation. Chances of loss now. You say chances of loss is more than 50% or less than 50%. So chances of loss is less than 50% and therefore it is what? Possible obligation and therefore it is what? Contingent liability. Understood? Have you understood this point? Correct? Second case. Have you written this? Write down this. Case 1 you understood? Case 2. Same High Court case is pending. Now win is 30% and lose is 70%. Batao. Chances of loss is what? More than 50%. So this will be what? Present obligation. Present obligation. So what is required? Provision or contingent liability? Depends. Based on two conditions. Based on two conditions. Understood? Correct? If nothing is given, we'll take one assumption. But how it is a present obligation, abhi outflow wala point is left. ठीक है ना? Case number 3. Win, lose. It is 96% and 4%. Batao. So it is less than what? 5% from exam point of view will consider this as what? Remote only. Understood? No treatment. No treatment. Doubt will always come in which situation? If it is 50-50 na? 50-50. Correct. So 50-50, it will be always, will consider less than or equal to 50%, and this will what? Possible obligation. Actually, can I say probability may we never say exact 50%. If you have understood probability chapter in mathematics, it is either more than or less than 50%. It cannot be exact 50%. Are you getting? Are you able to understand? So I think this type of question they should not ask only. Either it will be more than 50% or less than 50%. But chalo, exam is exam. So from examination point of view, we'll assume it is what? Possible obligation. Understood what I am saying? Now I hope that doubt is clear. The doubt is clear. I hope whatever doubt was coming in your mind, that doubt is clear. Now after this, you will do estimation. Understood? Got it. Estimation you have understood. Got it? Yes, sir. This also you have understood. Now any doubt? So how to measure you understood. Can you say now this type of question will come, they will give possible outcome. You can do multiplication because you have calculator with you. So that what I am not supposed to give you n number of example. Any example will come, you can do it na. Correct? Yes, sir. Correct. This also done. Correct. Now there are some notes. These notes are not so much important from examination point of view, but now because they are asking MCQs, so it might be dangerous if I don't teach you. Means as per old scheme there was no MCQs, so we don't used to focus on this point much. But now because of MCQs this become important. Now my first question to you, provision, whatever provision you are creating and charging it to PL account, that is before a tax or after tax? Before tax. Provision is always debited to PL account before tax, and then after calculating all expense you calculate tax. Means first we write on income, then we write on all expense. Income minus expense become profit before tax, and after that you calculate what? Tax. Understood? This point do you know? So if provision is a charge to expense before tax, so provision whatever you are calculating, that should be gross amount or net of tax. It should be always gross amount. So that is what a clarification given. The provision should be measured before tax. So what is this? We are not able to understand. You are not able to understand now? Just try to understand. So this you are not able to understand because it's sort of an advanced point. Advanced English I will say. This is income, 1 lakh. This is expense, 70,000. So what is profit before tax? 30,000. Correct now. And tax, let us assume 30%. So what is your tax? 9,000 now. So what is profit after tax? 20. This too you have understood now. Okay. This too you understood. I think this too you have understood. Now can I write down in this way? 1 lakh ka 30% how much? 1 lakh 30% how much? 30,000. So we recognize only 70,000 income. Means net of tax. Means now we are recognizing income minus tax. Let's see whether same answer is coming or not. Now 70 ka 30% minus karo. So after deducting 21,000 you are getting what? 49,000. Now see what is your answer. Same answer is coming or not? Same answer is coming. So can you say this is before tax? This is after tax? This 1,70,000 is before tax or after tax? This is before tax, after tax? And this is? Now you only say we recognize expense before tax or after tax? Before tax only na? Or after tax? So we should write down 70 or 49? 70. That only they are saying. Recognize provision before tax. This so we know. If I will teach, the more doubt will come. But now, because MCQ question they will ask, provisions should be created before tax, after tax. And if I will not teach, you will be confused in exam, na? So better teach. But we know this point now. All the expense, whatever you are writing in SOPs, that should be before tax or after tax. Before tax, understood? Correct? Understood? That they have given what? The provisions should be measured before tax. Before tax. This point have you understood? Achha. Do you know this point you have understood? Do you know about present value and future value? Annuity in mathematics. Have you done time value of money? How many of you have not understood that time? Time value of money? Understood? You have done CA foundation? Huh? CA foundation? Have you done mathematics anytime? Okay, very good. You know simple mathematics? Chalo. You know multiplications? I want that only. How many of you done CA foundation mathematics? How many have not done CA foundation mathematics? Raise your hand, Baba. I'm asking something. How many have not done mathematics in CA foundation? You have not done CA foundation only, so raise your hand. Raise your hand. Nothing to what? Think anything negative about it. We are here to become CA. And I am there to help you in any case. Whether you know, whether you don't know. I am there, na? Correct? When you go to doctor, correct now. So what will go? Sir, please check me. What will say to doctor? Please check me. He will ask me what happened, Baba. No sir, please check. What happened, Bata? Where you are getting pain? No sir, please check. So how will he check? I am asking whether you have done CA foundation mathematics or not. If I know, then only I can teach na. You don't know mathematics, so I need to teach in that way. But you know simple mathematics? Simple math, you know multiply, you know addition, you know subtraction, you know ratio, etc. Ratio also you know 1 by 6, 2 by 6, like this. Okay. Now just try to understand. Thoda sa concept about annuity. Okay. Just try to understand. Simple. Don't think this is a very advanced topic. We are discussing about money. You know money? I don't keep cash actually. Chalo, I don't have money right now. All are digital money right now. Okay. Now suppose I have given you 100 rupees today. So reverse karte. You have given me 100 rupees today. Today means today. Let us assume today is 1/4/2023. You have given me 100 rupees today. Correct? And as per agreement, it will be repaid by me after 1 year. After how many years? After 1 year. Means on 31st March 2024. Understood? And we have commercial terms now. We are not teacher student now. Don't be emotionally affected by me. We have commercial relationship. Agree? So you have given how much to me? 100 rupees. Correct? Now on 31st March I came to you and I paid 100 rupees. But are you okay with this? No. I have received how much? How much I am giving? So why not okay? Why not okay? Hey, interest. Interest is there. Hey, Baba. Interest is there. So what was the rate of interest? 10%. Someone is saying 10%. So let us assume 10%. Yes, sir, 10%. So if I apply 10% interest, so how much you will get from me? You will get 110. It means the value of money changes now. What is 100 today will become 110 after what? 1 year. This is known as time value of money. This is known as time value of money. This is actually a concept of FM. Because FM is in group 2 and I am teaching you accounts in group 1. So I need to become FM teacher. Understood? SCA can teach anything. SCA can do anything. You give me money, I will do that thing also. But क्या चाहिए? पैसा. Understood? Correct? Got it? Yes, sir. Now, so what happened ki in my apartment, because they know कि I am a teacher, and they think I am a teacher. So one day, one parent came to me, no sir, science पढ़ाना है. Correct ना? Science पढ़ाना है. No, okay, पक्का. I will teach. How much money will give me? बोला कि 1000 per month. But no. My rate is what 2 lakh per month. If you will give, I will teach. Am I right or not? I will learn and I will teach. Give me 2 lakh. First I will study and then I will teach. I can study anything. Sanskrit also. Give me money. I will learn Sanskrit and I will teach. But I need to compensate my opportunity cost. Yes or no? If you can compensate, I can teach. Am I right? That is only. This is time value of money. This is known, if I am standing यहाँ पर, सुनना. If I am standing यहाँ पर, this is known as present value. Oh ho. PV means what? Because I am standing यहाँ पर. I am standing on this date. So this become what? If this is present value, this is what? I am standing यहाँ पर. This is what? बोलो. This is present value. So this is future na. I am standing here. So I am dreaming. After 1 year, I need to pay how much? 110 to you. It is future value. Oh. Present value, future value. Understood? Correct. So can I say in this way? Present value is nothing but means from present value. If you want to calculate future value, what will do? 100 into 1 plus r by 100 to the power n. We apply this formula, mathematics formula, where r is rate of interest, n is what? Number of years. Number of years. Understood? Simple formula. 100 1 plus r by 100 to the power n. This must be to the power n. This na, to the power n. Those who have not done mathematics, I am asking that. To the power n, na. Understood? Yes, sir. Na? No. Correct. Okay. First thing, in class, everyone is same. Okay. Understood? And out of you, someone may not become CA. Anyone can become CA, anyone may not become CA. It does not mean if you don't know anything right now, you can't become CA. Correct now? If you learn that thing, you will become CA. Simple. So, what is the formula? 100 into 1. R was how much? 10 by 100. And year was how much? 1. So that will become 110 na? Same formula. So present value can be converted into future value by applying this formula. Now future value can be converted into present value by applying some formula. Suppose now 110 is given. So from 110 we need to find out what? Present value. So how to apply that formula we need to understand. Just listen. Can you say our formula is this? Future value is equal to present value 1 plus r by 100 to the power n, or better write down r by 100, write down r by n. Can I write down this way? Because it is understood, percentage will be r by 100 only. Rate is always in percentage term. Now, can you say now this was the formula? Now we know 110, but we don't know what present value. So we'll apply this only. So from future value we are calculating what present value. The formula remains same. So what we'll do? 110 present value 1 plus 0.10, can I write down 10 by 100. 10 by 100 is 0.10 to the power 1. Now solve it. What will do? Present value is equal to 110 divided by 1 plus 0.10 to the power 1. Calculate in calculator. It will come 100. Means this is the formula. Can the formula become what? Present value is equal to future value divided by 1 plus r to the power n. This is the formula. Means this formula has been derived from this formula only. From this formula only. Have you understood this point? Once again. What is the formula for present value? Future value. Future value is equal to present value 1 plus r to the power n. This formula you have understood now? This formula you understood? The future value is equal to present value 1 plus r to the power n. Understood? Correct? So now from this we are deriving how to calculate present value from what? Future value. So we'll say present value is equal to future value divided by what? 1 plus r to the power n. This is the formula. Means any amount can be changed from present value to future value, and any amount can be changed from future value to present value. I'll just give one example. You will do by your own. Suppose this is 1/4/2023, and I have committed you that I will pay you 1,10,000 after 1 year. I have committed you that I will pay you 1,10,000 after 1 year. Means after 31st March 2024, how much will get from me? 1,10,000. Correct. Suppose rate of interest is 15%. Correct. And you demanded me right now, sir, don't pay me after 1 year. Pay me right now because you are in need of money. Quite possible or not? Quite possible or not? Are you able to understand? We have done one contract that I will pay you 1,10,000 after 1 year at a rate of 15%. But you said, sir, please, I'm in need of money right now. Pay me right now only. So will I pay you 1,15,000? Sorry, 1,10,000 or less than 1,10,000? 1,10,000 or less than 1,10,000? So can you see it include interest for how many years? It include interest of how many years? So you need to reduce that interest. You reduce that interest now. It means you need to find out present value. Now calculate present value by applying this formula. Calculate everyone present value. Calculate it. Okay. You have done mathematics because we are so fast. I am doing for those students who have not done mathematics. If they can calculate, means objective done na. Now you all become same, then only I can teach. Otherwise I can't teach. Calculate. Apply the formula. You don't have calculator. Huh? Calculate, borrow, give some money to her. Today I am teaching present value. My topic was present value only. Okay, because this will be used in many chapters. Okay. So what formula you have done, bata? Present value is equal to future value divided by 1 plus r by 1 only. So future value was 1 lakh 10,000. It is 1 plus 0.15 to the power 1. It means 1 lakh 10,000 divided by what? 1.15. Now solve it. Solve it. What amount you are getting? 95,652. Okay. Means can I say if I give this amount today, you are happy or not? Happy or not happy? Means instead of getting 1,10,000 after 1 year, if I am giving you 95,652 right now, are you happy or sad? Happy. Why? Because this is a present value of 1,10,000. And if you want to calculate 10%, 15% interest, but how much 15% interest is coming for 1 year? Calculate 15% interest. How much it is coming? 14,348. And if you add this 14,348, how much it is becoming? It will 1,10,000. Oh, acha. Understood? Correct. Means can I say in this way? Can I say in this way? Key. Present value is excluding interest. बोले सुनो. Present value is excluding interest. Means in that this is present value. This is including interest, excluding interest. Excluding interest, na? Correct. And future value is including interest. बोले या सुनो. Including interest. बोल दो yes. थोड़ा loud बोलो. My ear is not working. Now can I say if I add interest, so this will become future value. If present value may will add interest, it will become future value. This is known as compounding of interest. We call it compounding of interest. Correct. So we call it compounding of interest. Means we are adding interest. We are adding interest. Correct. Can I say if I deduct interest, then we'll get present value. बोले ऐसा ना. If from future value, if I minus interest, so what will get? This 1,10,000. If I reduce interest, what you will get? Present value. So from future value, if you reduce interest, if you deduct interest, so you will get present value. This is known as discounting of interest. Discounting of interest. This much you understood? Technical terms which will be used in FM as well as in account. Correct. Compounding, discounting you understood? My question to you all, if future value is given and you want present value, you will compound or discount? One second, everyone. If future value is given and you want present value, you will compound or discount? Discount. And if present value is given, you want future value, you will discount ki compound? Compound. This much you understood? One more question, last question for today. Then tomorrow once again I will repeat this concept only. Correct? Correct? Last, if you can do this question, means मजा आ गया. Let's see how many of you are able to do. And if you are not able to do, don't worry. Correct. Now you are standing यहाँ पर. This is 1/4/2023. This is 31st March 2024. And this is 31st March 2025. Rate of interest decided what? 10%. And at this point of time, we have done commitment, we have done one contractual agreement that I will pay you 5 lakh. Correct? Understood. And at this point of time, I have committed you to pay 1 lakh. Means I'll do 2 payment to you. 1 lakh at the end of 1 year and 5 lakh at the end of 2nd year. But you want, sir, give me entire amount yahin par. You started crying. Sir. I said, okay, don't cry. Are you able to understand? Means we have done one contractual agreement that I will pay you 1 lakh at the end of 1st year and 5 lakh at the end of 2nd year. But you cried, I want money right now, sir. But how much I will pay? Calculate. Now 2-time calculation. So 2-time discounting. Do it. You don't have calculator. You don't have calculator. Okay. You want calculator? Calculate. No. Say thank you. Without thank you, no. But I am giving and no thank you. Wow. Okay, I understood. First option I got how much? 5 lakh 4,132. This is out of the topic I am teaching. This is not a part of account syllabus. Better understanding, detailed discussion your FM teacher will do. I am teaching you mathematics. Means right now I become mathematics teacher. How much got? Batao. This is how much? What you done? 1 lakh divided by what? 1.10 to the power 1. How much you are getting? 90,000 009 बोल. अच्छा 909. 90,909. Oh. Yes. And this is coming 5 lakh divided by what? 1.10 to the power 2 you have done na? To the power 2 now. How much it is coming? 4 lakh 13,223. Sum total of this is coming this. So correct only. 5 lakh 4,132. Jadu. Yes, correct only. Have you understood? First, have you understood calculation part? Is the calculation easy because you have calculator? Calculation easy because you have calculator. So calculation we are not concentrating. Have you understood this formula? Formula have you understood? Pakka. So any future value we can calculate what? Any future value we can convert them into what? Present value. Correct? Am I right or not? Have you understood present value terms, future value terms? Present value, future value? Correct. Now, only 5 minutes, hold your emotions. You have understood the concept of present value and future value. Let me ask you one question. Right? Right. you will understand today power of concepts. Power of concepts. If your concept is strong, so how you are acting, how you are reacting. Have you understood present value, future value? Concept you understood, calculation cholo. Calculation require practice. If I'll give you 100 questions, if you'll practice 100 questions, you'll become what? Good in that calculation, na? So that we can do, nothing to worry about that. My question to you, this is balance sheet date. Now I am coming to the chapter, chapter. This is the balance sheet date, and there was a present obligation for which we need to calculate, for which we need to measure what provision. Means all the conditions satisfied. Now we are recognizing provision, so we need to do best estimate for provision. Now this amount is payable after 2 years. The amount is payable after 2 years. Means obligation is यहाँ पर, but amount is payable in future ना. So it is a future expenditure, and we have estimated that after 2 years, the management is estimating that after 2 years, after 2 years they need to pay 10 lakh. Understood? My question to you all, listen the question. Management is estimating that they need to pay how much? After how many years? 2 years. But we are preparing balance sheet यहाँ पे ना. So it means we are recording balance sheet as on today. We are preparing balance sheet as on today. My provision should be 10 lakh of present value of 10 lakh. Present value of 10 lakh ki 10 lakh. Have you understood my question? Once again. After 2 years, how much will pay? 10 lakh. Correct. But we are preparing balance sheet right now. So my provision amount should be 10 lakh of present value of 10 lakh. 10 lakh of present value of 10 lakh. You are not able to understand what I am asking. If you are silent, means you are not able to understand. Simple. Apply logic. Don't think much what you have done till now. What I am saying, this is right now you are standing. You are standing यहाँ पे ना. You are standing यहाँ पर. This is future value की present value. So if you are preparing balance sheet यहाँ पर, so you should record present value की future value. Present value. So you want present value of 10 lakh, you recognize 10 lakh. Present value of 10 lakh na. Present value of 10 lakh. Because you are preparing balance sheet as on today. As on today na. That the concept we have done. Entire discussion we have done. If you are saying 10 lakh means you have not understood only. So it should be what? Means can the provision should be recognized. Should be recognized at present value of future expenditure. बोलिए सुनो. Provision should be recognized. I am just seeing that just 2 hours होता ना, you stop responding. You don't answer anything. I will go out of the class. I will not come for 10 days. If I will see these type of reactions. Okay? Okay? Please respond. Please respond. Okay. Have you understood present value to future value? That point have you understood? Forget about calculation right now. Present value, future value you understood? My question to you all, you are standing here, you are preparing balance sheet as on this date, and management has estimated that after 2 years they are supposed to pay 10 lakh. Correct? So now you are preparing balance sheet, to you are recognizing provision as on this date, so you recognize provision at 10 lakh, the present value of 10 lakh. This is my question. 10 lakh or present value of 10 lakh? Present value of 10 lakh. But AS 29 says at 10 lakh. Correct? Understood? I already said don't read any points before me. Understood? Because if you are reading, so you are putting your life in danger. But because you will not concentrate in my teaching. So don't read anything before me. So to explain this point, I have done so much explanation. The amount of provision should not be discounted to its present value. Means what AS29 is saying, that recognize provision at 10 lakh only. Easy only now. It become easy now. Means what is the word? The amount of provision should not be discounted to its present value. Means recognize at what? Future value. It means recognize at future value. Recognize at future value. Because this point number 2 is now relevant for MCQ question. They will ask this type of question. You will die if you are not able to understand. Correct? So can you see the amount of provision should be equal to 10 lakh of present value 10 lakh as per AS29? 10 lakh. But there is one exception to this rule. Only one exception, they say at present value. This I will teach you in AS10 coming soon. Means there is only one particular case in which we calculate what present value. Otherwise we recognize provision at what? Future value. Means can I conclude that provisions should be measured without discounting future value? Correct. So present value should not be discounted to its present value. Means recognize that future value. This much you understood. Thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Enjoy your remaining day. Bye bye.